أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu and welcome to today's class. I hope you are all doing well inshallah. A few class rules before we start. Please make sure that you are logged in with your correct IDs. Make sure that your heads are covered. Also, please make sure that you are sitting in a nice quiet place so that there's no disturbance in the background. Also, please make sure that you do not raise your hands unless you are asked to do so by myself or the discipline in charge. Okay, and also once you're called to the mic, please be quick to answer. That way you will be able to get your turn and there will be no delay. Okay, so as you can see in front of you in the contents page, we will be covering a new surah. We will be covering a new surah, which is Surah Al-Bayyinah, which is chapter 98 in the Holy Quran, verse 1 to 9. Okay, and then you will also be revising the rule of Waqf on Taa Marbutah. Okay, so this is the rule that you will be learning today and revising, and this will be the surah that we will be covering in today's class. Now, this rule that we're learning and revising can be found lesson number 21, which is page number 85, line 8. And this material can be found in the Tashilul-Qur'an book, second edition, or on the NQC website. Okay, so now let's start the class with a prayer. So if you could please have a student on the mic.
Yes. Our first student is ID number N8366.
Assalamu alaikum, N8366. Assalamu alaikum, N8366, you have the mic.
With your family.
Assalamu alaikum, I can hear you on the mic. If you could just speak up.
You'll have no.
Okay, let's move on to another student.
Okay, we have now A7366.
Later on, like at the time.
Okay, A7366, Assalamu alaikum.
Just like take the truth. I mean, I'm not saying take the.
Assalamu alaikum, A7366.
Like I know it's hard and it's.
Okay, let me just mute everybody, and then discipline charge. If you could just unmute one student, perhaps A7366. A7366 is unmuted. Okay, let me just quickly unmute a student. N8368. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, perfect. Okay, I'm going to ask you to repeat this surah after me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا. Excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. Okay, so this is a prayer. And can you read the translation for us now, please?
O Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge. Ibn Majah.
Excellent. Well done. Hadith number 925. Perfect. Excellent. That was really nicely read. Jazakumullah. If you could all just bear with me for one moment. Okay, so before we move on to our new surah of the day, like I said, we will be covering Surah Al-Bayyinah today. And we will be covering a new rule today as well. Before we move on to that, I'd like to cover and recap and listen to some students recite the surahs that we covered and went through in last week's classes. Okay, so in last week's classes, you covered 5 surahs. The names of those surahs are Surah Al-Fil, Surah Al-Humada, Surah Al-Asr, Surah Al-Takathur, and Surah Al-Qariyah. Okay, so those were the 5 surahs that you covered in last week's class. And in the first half of today's class, we will be going through those surahs. Okay, and just to remind you all, in those surahs that you covered, in each surah, you recapped and focused on various rules. So we'll be going over those rules as well in the first half, just to remind you all. And also one thing that I'd like you all to take extra care of is when you are reciting the thick sounding letters. Okay, I'd like you to remember which are the thick, heavy sounding letters, and I'd like you to please pay close attention to them and pronounce them correctly. Okay, so how to pronounce them correctly is to pronounce them with a thick and heavy sound. So let's try and cover as many surahs as we can today. Okay, so the first surah that I have in front of me is Surah Al-Asr. So if we please have a student on the mic.
Yes. We have a student A7362.
A7362. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is the first surah that I have in front of me. So this is a surah that you covered last week. Okay, and in this surah, last week you were asked to focus especially on the thick and heavy sounding letters. Okay, could you tell me which are the thick and heavy sounding letters? Do you remember?
I remember some. Ra,
Okay, Ra can be a thick sounding letter. Excellent.
Ra, Qa,
Qaf, yes.
Qaf, Sad,
Sad, yes.
Dad,
Excellent.
Ain, no, Ghain,
Yes.
Okay,
excellent. I think you got the majority of them. So the thick letters are Kha, Sad, Dad, Ta, Za, Ghain, and Qaf. Okay, so these are the thick sounding letters that we need to look out for when we are reading from the Holy Quran.
Okay.
So I will ask you to read this surah for me. So let's start with A'udhu Billah. So could you start from here?
Yes. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, now over here, this fa should be read with a thick and heavy sound as well. Okay, so try this again, but making sure the ta is read with a thick and heavy sound.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Excellent, much better. Carry on.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent, well done. Those ra you pronounce with a thick and heavy sound. Okay, let's carry on.
والعصر.
Okay, excellent, well done. So over here, Sad again is a thick and heavy sound, as is highlighted over here, and you read that very nicely. Carry on.
إن الإنسان لفي خسر.
Okay, excellent. Kha again is a thick and heavy sound, so we must pronounce that with a thick and heavy sound as well. Okay, perfect. And let's carry on.
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتوسوا بالحق وتوسوا بالصبر.
Okay, excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. Just a couple of things to look out for. Over here, can you see where my hand is?
Yes.
Yes, so over here, you have vaw, and it has a fatha on it, and it is followed by an alif mud. Okay, so we need to stretch the sound out of wa for 2 seconds. Watawa.
Watawa.
Excellent. And the same thing goes over here as well. Okay, again, watawa.
Watawa.
Excellent. Well done. So why don't you try this verse again, taking care of this, what I just told you.
إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
Excellent. Well done. That was perfect. Okay. Well done. That was really good. And when you join these three letters together, do so because it has a shadda on it. إِلَّا الَّذِينَ. Okay, like that. Perfect. Excellent. Well done. Jazakumullah for your help.
Teacher,
Yes.
with the corrections you've given me, can I try to do the surah again and put all the effort in?
Yes, so what you did there was excellent. This last verse that I asked you to repeat again was because you made a small mistake over there, so we've just corrected it. Okay, so
Okay.
excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. I can see that you've been revising, and mashallah, keep going. Okay, excellent. Well done. Jazakumullah. Let's move on to the next surah now. So another surah that I have, as you can see in front of you, is Surah Al-Fil.
Yes.
And in this surah, if we could please mute A7362. So the next surah, like I said, is Surah Al-Fil. And in this surah, the rule that I have highlighted over here and a rule that you covered whilst you were going through the surah was the rule of ikhfa mim sakin. Okay, and this rule is when you pronounce mim sakin with a 2-second light nasal sound when the next letter starts with a ba. Okay, so when the next word starts with the letter ba. So as you can see in this line over here, and I've highlighted this mim sakin, as you can see the letter after it is ba. So that is why when you pronounce this, you would pronounce this mim sakin with a 2-second nasal sound. Him. Okay, and this only happens when the next word starts with the letter ba. Okay, so that is the rule of ikhfa mim sakin. Okay, and that is one of the rules that you looked at whilst you were covering this surah. So let's ask a student to come on the mic and we can request them to start reading from this
Now
surah.
we have ID number N8374.
Jazakumullah. N8374. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay, so I'm going to ask you to recite a portion of this surah. So let's start from here, please.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Well done. Excellent. Let's carry on.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, now we also need to keep in mind the thick and heavy sounding letters, okay? So in this case, the ra would be a thick and heavy sounding letter, okay? So in Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim.
So should
So
I
try
repeat
this
that
again,
again?
please. Yes, please.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent. Well done. Let's carry on.
ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل.
Excellent. Well done. Now in this first verse, can you identify the thick sounding letters?
Ta?
You mean over here?
Yeah.
So ta is not a thick sounding letter, okay? It's just a simple ta, okay? Let's carry on. Can you see any other in this? There's one at least in here. Let me highlight it for you. What letter is this?
Sod.
Yes, so Sod is a thick and heavy sounding letter. So when you join these two letters together, os, like that, okay? Your mouth should be rounded when you produce the sound of Sod, okay? So can you say this again? Just be mindful of this Sod, okay?
ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل.
Excellent. Well done. Much, much better. And let's do the next verse now.
ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل.
Okay, now over here, Dod is a thick and heavy sounding letter. Okay, Dodu.
تضليل.
Excellent. Well done. Much, much better. So one more time this verse, please.
ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل.
Excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. Just be mindful and careful of any thick and heavy sounding letters. Okay. So remember to recap that after today's class, so that you know. Okay. Excellent. Well done. Jazakumullah. Can we have another student on the mic, please?
Yes, we have 7395.
Assalamu alaikum. A7395. Wa alaikum salam. Okay, so let's carry on, but before that, let's read A'udhu Billah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Bismillah.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Well done. Let's start from here.
وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل.
Okay, just one thing that you need to look out for over here. You stretch this lam out for a bit too long. Okay, this lam simply has a fatha. So anything with a simple fatha on it should not be prolonged more than 1 second. Okay, wa arsala.
وأرسل
Excellent. So try this this verse again, please.
وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل.
Okay, well done. And this ta over here, this is a thick and heavy sounding letter. So just be careful of that. Tai. Tai. Yes, much better. Okay. So one more time, this verse, please.
وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل.
Perfect. Much, much better. Okay. Excellent. Well done. Let's carry on.
ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل.
Okay, well done. Over here, just produce that 2-second nasal sound. I know you did it for a little bit, but a bit longer, 2 seconds approximately, okay? Because the next letter is ba, and this would come under the rule of ikhfa mim sakin, okay? Tarmihim bihijaratim min sijil.
ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل.
Okay, well done. Excellent. Okay, so this is a rule that we just need to look out for when the next letter is ba, and then you have a meme sakin before that. Okay, excellent. Let's carry on.
فجاء لهم كأس في مأكول.
Okay, well done. Excellent. Just be careful over here. I think the first time you read it, you just stretched the ja out for too long. Okay, jim with a simple fatha, ja. Okay, so one more time.
فجاء لهم كأس في مأكول.
Excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. Okay, you just be careful of your timing. So what I mean by that is just be careful of what stroke a certain letter has. If it simply has a fatha, kasra or dhamma on it, we do not stretch that sound out. It's simply for 1 second. And also just remind yourself of the thick and heavy sounding letters so that you apply a thick and heavy sound to them when you are reciting. Okay?
Okay.
Excellent. Well done. Jazakumullah for your help.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Okay. So another surah that you covered in last week's class was Surah Al-Takathur. Okay, and as you can see over here, This is Surah Al-Takathur. And you were asked to be mindful of correct reading, okay? So remembering that your timing needs to be correct, your pronunciation needs to be correct, and of course, remember the thick and heavy sounding letters, okay? So let's have a student on the mic, please.
Yes, we have now N8397.
Jazakumullah. N8397. Assalamu alaikum. N8397. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay, so I'm going to be asking you to recite a few verses of this surah. So let's start from Dawood. So let's start from here, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Well done. Excellent.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Well done. Excellent. Let's carry on.
ألهاكم التكاثر.
Okay, well done. Straight away, you know when you stop over here, this dhamma on the ra becomes a sukoon. So straight away join the tha to the ra. Thur.
Sur.
Yes. And this letter over here is tha. Okay, the letter is tha. And how you pronounce tha is by taking your teeth and touching it to the top of taking your tongue and touching it to your top teeth. Okay? Tha.
Tha.
Excellent. Really nice sound. So over here, tha has a dhamma, so it would be thu.
Thu.
Yes, and then join it to the ra, thur.
Thur.
Excellent. Perfect. Well done. Really nicely read. Let's carry on.
زرتم المقابر.
Okay. Now over here, the ta, yeah, it has a vertical fatha on it. When something has a vertical fatha, how long do you pronounce it for?
2 seconds.
Yes. So join these together and then stretch the ta sound out for 2 seconds.
حتى.
Excellent. Well done. So let's say this verse again, please.
حتى زرتم المقابر.
Okay, again stretch this out as well because of the alif mad. Maqabir.
مقابر.
Okay, one more time this verse, please.
حتى زرتم المقابر.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, let's carry on, please.
كلا سوف تعلمون.
Okay, well done. Over here, after the lam, you have an alif mad. Okay, so kalla, again, you're stretching it for 2 seconds. Okay, and then over here, you have a vowel lean. So, kalla sawfa.
كلا سوف.
Excellent. So start again from this verse, please.
كلا سوف تعلمون.
Excellent. Well done. Carry on, please.
ثم كلا سوف تعلمون.
Excellent. Well done. That was really nicely read. Okay, so just be mindful of all the rules that we've already learnt before and try and apply them whilst you are reading from the Holy Quran. Okay, excellent. Well done. Can we have another student on the line, please?
Yes. We have now A7404.
Jazakumullah. A7404. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamualaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Okay, I'm going to ask you to carry on with this surah, but please read Tawuz first.
A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim.
Well done. Excellent.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Yes, remember the ra in both of these cases will be a thick and heavy sounding ra, so just be careful of that. Okay, let's carry on from here now.
ألهاكم
You could just start from here because the first students read this.
كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين.
Okay, excellent. Well done. Now over here, I've highlighted the qaf because this is a thick and heavy sounding letter. Okay, so when you say this, your mouth should be rounded. Okay, qeen.
يقين.
Perfect. So try this verse again, please.
كلا لو تعلمون علم اليقين.
Perfect. Well done. Carry on, please.
لترون الجحيم.
Perfect. Carry on, please.
ثم لترونها عين اليقين.
Okay, excellent. So this qaf again is a thick and heavy sounding letter. So just like you pronounce this one, you need to pronounce this one as well. Okay, so could you just try that one more time for us?
ثم لترونها عين اليقين.
Perfect. Carry on, please.
ثم لتسألن يومئذ عن النعيم.
Okay, well done. Excellent. That was really nicely read. Your timing was really, really good. So you stretched where it needed to be stretched and you didn't stretch where it didn't need to be. And just be mindful, just be careful of the thick and heavy sounding letters. Okay? Otherwise, you'll read really, really nicely. Well done. Jazakumullah.
Jazakallah.
Jazakumullah. Now, could we please have one more student on the mic and we'll just do Surah Al-Asr with them as well.
Yeah. Now we have N8371.
Jazakumullah. N8371. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum Assalam.
Okay, I'm going to also ask you to read Surah Al-Asr. So if you could please start from Tawud.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitan.
If you just the class, please. If we could just have N8371 on the mic. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, let's see if N8371 is unmuted. Discipline in charge, if we could have a student on the mic, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Who's on the mic?
N8371.
Perfect. Excellent. Okay, so let's start from here, please.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim.
Excellent.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Perfect. Well done. Let's carry on.
Wal asr. Innal insana lafi.
What's this over here?
khusr.
Okay, now over here, when you're joining the alif to the noon, it's innal. Okay?
Innal.
Yes, excellent. And over here, the fi is stretched for 2 seconds because of the yamad. Lafi.
Lafi.
Excellent. Well done. So try one more time, please.
Innal insana lafi khusr.
Innal.
Innal insana lafi khusr.
Okay, now everything was perfect over here. Just the noon with the fatha should only be said for 1 second, okay? Not longer, okay? Otherwise, well done. Let's carry on, please.
إلى الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.
Okay, excellent. Well done. Really nicely read. Just again, be careful. You know the when something has a shadda on it, it should be joined onto the previous letter with force. Okay, with a bit of you have to put a bit of force into it. Okay, so over here, alif has a kasra, then it needs to be joined onto the lam with the shadda. Okay, illa alladhina,
إلى الذين
illa alladhina,
إلى الذين
illa
إلا
illa.
إلى الله.
Okay, so right now what you're saying is illallah. Okay, what you need to say is illallah.
إلى الله.
Okay, so it's I think what you need to do is after today's class, just take the surah out and practice saying this bit. Okay, so you're joining 3 letters together. You're joining the alif to the lam and then the lam to the lam. Okay, so illallah.
إلا الله.
Perfect. Excellent. Well done. Okay, so this was the only thing that you need to look out for. Otherwise, you're doing really, really well. Okay, excellent. Well done. Jazakumullah. Okay, Allah Hafiz. So those were the surahs, some of the surahs that we covered in last week's class. So, and I hope you've all been revising because that was your homework as well for last week over the weekend to revise all the surahs that you've learnt. So just make sure that you're revising and practicing again and again, because the more that you revise, the more that you practice, the better that you will get. Okay, so what we'll do now is we will now move on to the next, our new surah of the day. And like I said, that is Surah Al-Bayyinah, and this is a longer surah than we have been looking at. So what we'll do is we'll try and go through as many verses today as possible, and then inshallah we will be doing this again tomorrow as well. Okay, so in this surah, there is a particular rule that comes up in the surah, and I'd like to highlight to you now before we start reading. Okay, and that is this, the rule of waqf on Taa Marbutah. Okay, so if we go to lesson number 21, that is the rules of waqf lesson. You can see over here line number 8 that it tells you what the rule of pausing or stopping after Taa Marbutah is. So as you can see over here, this is a word, and this word ends with a Taa Marbutah with a tanween on top of it. Okay, now if we want to pause or stop after this this word, what will happen is that the Taa Marbutah will change into ha sakin. Okay, as you can see over here, I've highlighted the Taa Marbutah now changes into a ha with a sukoon on top of it. So that is the rule of stopping or pausing after Taa Marbutah. So this is something that we need to be mindful of in this surah, because at the end of every verse there is a Taa Marbutah, and it doesn't matter what it has on it, in terms of it doesn't matter what the stroke is on the Taa Marbutah, it will always change into a ha sakin when we are pausing. So this is just something that I'd like you to be careful of. So what I'll do now is I will recite this, I'll go through verse by verse. So I will recite the first verse, and then we will have a student on the mic to repeat. So let's start from أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة. Okay, so as you can see over here, when I stopped, I changed this into a ha sakin. So my verse ended with the sound of ha. Okay, so I would pronounce this as nah. Okay, so this is something that we need to apply to the rest of the surah as well. Okay, so what we'll do is I've read the first verse, so let's have a student on the mic to read the first verse for us.
Yes, we have now A7400.
Jazakumullah. Assalamu alaikum. A7400. A7400. Assalamu alaikum. Okay, so there's no response. Can we have another student, please?
Yes. We have now A7398.
A7398. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Is that A7398?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So I'm going to be asking you to read the first verse that I just read, and I'd like you to start from Dawood.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم
Excellent. Let's carry on.
لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم.
Yeah, that dia. Please read the rest as well. Okay, do we still have A7398 on the mic? A7398, are you still on the mic? Okay, so I think maybe
Yeah.
there's been some technical difficulty. So otherwise, A7398, you read really, really nicely, mashallah. So your pronunciation was really, really good. Your timing was really good as well. Okay, so if you had finished the surah, the verse off, you would have at the end, this Taa Marbutah would have changed into a ha sakin. Okay, so otherwise, really nicely read. Can we have another student on the mic to read this first verse as well?
Yes, we have N404.
N404. Okay, Assalamu alaikum. Who's on the mic? Assalamu alaikum. Who do we have on the mic?
You can change the student now.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Who is that?
It's A7404. I've already been chosen.
All right, that's fine. No problem. Jazakumullah. Let's have any other student.
Okay. We have now N8367.
N8367. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Is that N8367?
Yes.
All right, perfect. I'm going to ask you to read this first verse again from me as well, okay?
Okay.
Could you please start from Dawood?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Well done. Just give me 1 second. Let's carry on.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent. Please carry on.
لم يكن الذين كفروا من أهل الكتاب والمشركين منفكين حتى تأتيهم البينة.
Excellent. Mashallah. Well done. That was really nicely read. So your pronunciation was really good. Your timing was excellent. There was not one mistake that you did there. And then at the end, you converted this ta marbuta to a ha sakin. Yes?
जी
Excellent. Mashallah. Well done. That was really nicely read.
Jazakallah.
And 8367.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. So what we'll do, I will recite now the next 2 verses, and then we can have a student on the mic to read that as well. Okay, so I will carry on. Rasulun minallahi yatlu suhufan mutahharah fiha kutubun qayyimah. Okay, so in both these verses, I made sure to convert the ta marbuta to a ha sakin when I was pausing after. Okay, so if you please have a student on the mic to read these 2 verses.
Yes, now we have A7382.
A7382, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam. So I'm going to ask you to recite from here, but let's start from Tawud first.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Okay, over here, when you start reading, it's 2 separate bits. Okay, so alif with the fatha is separate to the ayn. So, a'udhu.
أعوذ.
Yes, so we're not joining them together. We're not saying aw. We're saying them separately. Okay, so read this again, please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Excellent, well done. That was really nicely read. Let's carry on.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Perfect, excellent. So I'm going to ask you to start reading from here, please.
رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة.
Okay. So over here, suhu, and then we join these 2 together. Can you try joining that together for me?
فم
And then over here, joining these 2 together.
طهرت.
Okay, taha.
Taha.
Yes, so ta is a thick and heavy sound, and then we're joining it to the ha. Taha.
Taha.
And then over here, like I said, if we're pausing and stopping over here, then this ta marbuta changes into a ha sakin. So it would be rah.
Rah.
Yes, excellent. So let's do this one more time.
رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة. طهرة.
Excellent. Well done. Really good. So one more time, just be careful at the end over here.
رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة.
Try again.
رسول من الله يتلو صحفا مطهرة. طهرة.
Yes, so we're joining the ta to the ha and then the ra to the ha. Okay? صحفا مطهرة.
صحفا مطهرة.
طهرة.
طهرة.
صحفا مطهرة.
صحفا مطهرة.
Yes, excellent. Much better. Okay, so it's just about joining letters together, and then for example this ha has a shadda, so that's why we join it with force to the ta, and then we're joining the ra to the ha, because this ta marbuta changes into a ha sakin. Okay, so it's just about having a look at where you're pausing and what the pause rule is over there. Okay, excellent. Let's carry on.
فيها كتب قيمة.
Okay, try again.
فيها كتب قيمات.
Okay, now what did I say about when we're stopping after a ta marbuta? What happens?
Changes to ha.
Yes, it changes into a ha sakin. So keep that in mind and try this verse again, please.
فيها كتب قيمة.
Yes, well done, much better, okay? But say this as mah.
مه.
Yes, so one more time.
فيها كتب قيمة.
Yes, okay, well done, excellent, much better. And also, after the fa, you have a ya mad, okay? So, fiha
فيها
kutubun
كتب
qayyimah.
قيمة.
Excellent. So one more time.
فيها كتب قيمة.
Perfect. Okay, now that was perfect. Okay, well done. Excellent. So like I said, we just need to be careful of remembering our rules of pausing or stopping, and then apply them. Okay, and of course we need to be mindful of all the previous rules that we've learned as well, so that in order to be reading the Quran correctly. Okay, excellent.
Okay.
Well done. That was really nicely read. Keep practicing. So what I'll do is now I will now read the next verse, and then we can have a student on the mic to repeat. وَمَا تَفَرَّقَ الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْكِتَابَ إِلَّا مِن بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَتْهُمُ الْبَيِّنَةُ. Okay, so that was verse number 5. So let's have another student on the mic, please.
Yes, we have N8390.
N8. Walaikum salam. Is that N8390?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So let's do this verse now. So let's start from Tawud.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Excellent. Just bear with me one second and let's carry on.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Okay, excellent. Well done. And we're starting from here now.
وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءهم البينة.
Humul Bayji. How would you say that?
البينة.
Excellent. Well done. Really good. Just a couple of things to be careful over here. Illa, because after the lam, you have a alif mad. Okay, so illa.
إلا.
Excellent. Well done. And do you remember we learnt about the rule of ikhfa mim sakin, and we applied that in our previous surah that we did in today's class? This one will be mim ba'di, like that, because the next letter after the mim is ba. Okay? Illa mim ba'di.
إلا من بعد.
Excellent. Well done. And this jeem, it has an alif and then it has a mud on it, a madda on it. So we need to stretch this for about 3 to 4 seconds. Okay, so let's try this verse again now, please.
وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة.
Excellent, well done. So you applied the rule of waqf excellently over here. So you change this into a ha sakin, and then you join the na to the noon to the ha. Okay, excellent. But just be careful over here again, that the lam needs to be stretched. Okay, because of the alif mad. So illa.
إلا.
Okay, so just be mindful of that, okay? Excellent. And in this verse, can you point out to me the thick and heavy sounding letters? So if we start from here, are there any thick and heavy sounding letters?
قاف.
Yes, excellent. So this qaf is a thick and heavy sounding letter. Then let's carry on. Is there any other? Are there any other? Can you spot any? There might not be. You can tell me.
جا.
No, Jim isn't a thick and heavy sounding letter. In this verse, like you pointed out, the qaf is a thick and heavy sounding letter, and you pointed that out wonderfully. So, and that's the only one in this verse. Okay? Excellent. Well done. So just be careful of wherever the thick and heavy sounding letters are, so that you're applying the rule there as well. Okay, perfect. Excellent. Jazakumullah for your help. Let's have another student on the mic to read this verse, please.
Yes, we have A7389.
A7389, Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. So I'm also going to ask you to read this verse for us. So can we start from Dawood?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Excellent.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Excellent. Well done. Yes, well done. Excellent. So let's start from here now again.
وما تقرق الذي.
No, sorry, I'll just pause you there so that you're reading it correctly. This is a fa. تفرق الذين. So start again, please.
وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلا من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة.
Okay, well done. Excellent. That was really nicely read. Just a couple of things to point out. Over here, you need to stretch that for much longer than you did. Okay, so right now you just said this as ja, but you need to stretch this for about 3 to 4 seconds because of this madda on top. Whenever there's a madda on top of a letter, we need to stretch that sound out for about 4 seconds. Okay, so ja'athumul bayyinah.
جاءتهم البينة.
Excellent. So like I did over here, when you join the ba to the ya, you do so with force. You straight away join it with and put a bit of stress onto it, and then pronounce the kasra. Okay, and then at the end over here, like we done, this Taa Marbutah, what does it change into when we're pausing after this, please?
Aha.
Aha, sakin. Yes, excellent. So we need to be careful of that as well. Okay, so could you please read this one more time, this verse?
وما تفرق الذين أوتوا الكتاب إلى من بعد ما جاءتهم البينة.
Perfect. Excellent. That was all really, really good. Just one little mistake, as I've highlighted over here. You need to illa.
Illa.
Yes. So the first time you read it really nicely. And I think the second time you were perhaps concentrating on other rules, so you forgot to apply the rule over here. But this is an alif madda, so we need to stretch this for about 2 seconds as well. Okay? But otherwise, you're reading really, really well. Jazakumullah for your help. So in today's class, we've covered verse 5 verses. So like I said, in tomorrow's class, you will also be revising this surah. So don't worry. Mashallah, everybody read really, really well. But we must remember to keep revising and keep practicing all the rules that we've already learnt, including rules of the thick and heavy sounding letters, so that we are able to read and recite the Holy Quran in the best possible manner. Okay, so the homework for today's class is as follows. Please practice Surah Al-Bayyinah and apply all the rules taught so far. Okay, and this, if you know any other rules that you know, please also practice them as well. And pay close attention to recognizing the thick letters in each verse. Okay, so just for today's class, please practice verse 1 to 5, the first 5 verses that we've covered today for tomorrow's class. And then in tomorrow's class, you will carry on and finish, and we will see how far you get with this surah as well. Okay, so your homework for today's class is to practice Surah Al-Bayyinah up to the verses that we've covered today. Okay, so just to remind you all, we have covered up till over here. Okay, so if I've just highlighted over here. So this is where we've covered up till. So if you could all please practice that in time for tomorrow's class, where you will be carrying on with this surah. Okay, and of course, always remember your thick and heavy sounding letters. And if you would like to refer back to the lesson that we covered the thick letters, it is lesson number 2. So in your Tashilul-Qur'an books or on the NQC website, please refer back to lesson number 2 for your thick and heavy sounding letters. And for those that don't know already what the thick and heavy sounding letters, please continue to write the thick and heavy sounding letters out on paper. Use lesson number 2, which is page number 33, to remind yourself of those thick letters. Okay, and inshallah that will help you remember. And of course, as always, timing is extremely important, and so is pronunciation. So please do take care of that as well. So we will end today's class with a prayer. So could we please have a student on the mic?
We have N8375.
N8375, Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to read this final prayer with me. Please repeat after me. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
اللهم ارحمني.
اللهم ارحمني.
بالقرآن العظيم.
بالقرآن العظيم.
Excellent. And can you read the translation for me now, please?
O Allah, have mercy on me through the great Quran.
Perfect. Excellently read. Jazakumullah for your help, and Jazakumullah to all the students and their parents for joining us in today's class. Please make sure you do your homework, and inshallah we will see you all again same time tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.